Hi everyone, this is Kannababu. This is part 30 of ASP.NET. In this video, we'll discuss about cascading drop-down list control. We'll do a simple small scenario, small project type we'll see. With this cascading drop-down list control, it is very important in interview point of view. Okay, so first of all, what I will do, I'll try to go to my database and I'll try to create one table. You must have some SQL skills here. Okay, I'll try to create one database, create database, some state demo or cascade. I'll create one database with the name cascade demo. Cascade demo I'll create. And then I will try to use the database. Syntax to create the database is create database, database name. Okay. And I'll try to use the database. Use database name, cascade demo. Execute. Now I'll try to create the tables actually. Create table, table name state, column name. I'll try to give state ID. Data type I'll give something like varchar of 50, something like this. And I'll try to apply primary key. You must have the SQL skills. Then you'll understand what is primary key. And I'll try to give something like state name. Data type I'll give varchar of 50. This is your table. I'll create one table with name state. Are you following? So generally primary key will not allow duplicate values and it will not allow null values. And here I will create one more table. Create table city with columns city ID. With column city ID data type I'll give varchar of 50. And here also I'll try to apply primary key. City ID I'll apply primary key. And here I'll try to apply city name. I'll try to apply varchar of 50, something like this. And the city name I'll try to apply in there. Now there is a relation between state and city. Parent-child relationship is a state table having state ID and state name. State ID is primary key. City table having city ID, city name. If you want to establish the relation between two tables, here you have one table with name state. Here you have one table with name city. If you want to establish the relationship between these two tables, okay, now parent-child relationship. What is the relation here? One state can have many cities. One state can have many cities. Did you understand everyone? So one state can have many cities. So one to many relation. In this scenario, you have to apply foreign key constraint. That we'll discuss in you watch my videos in SQL Server by Kannababu, foreign key constraint, you'll get some clarity. So here I'll try to give state ID, data type varchar. If you want to apply foreign key constraints, common column must exist between both the tables. Here I'll try to apply foreign key references. References primary key table name of primary key column name, something like this. So create table name, column name, data type. Foreign key is used to establish the relationship between the tables. This is your state table. Foreign key references. Foreign key references primary key table name of primary key column name. State ID is the state ID right now. Reference invalid state. First create state table and then you create city table. It will work. Execute. Okay na? So this is how you can create the city table. Slowly create one more table with name state, city, and here I'll try to create one more table with name location. Having location ID, and here location name, and here I'll try to give city ID, something like this. Okay na? And here I'll try to give apply foreign key on city of city ID. Is it clear? These are the three tables I have created. One is state, other one is city, another one is location. State, city as well as location. So here I am creating one table with name state. Apply primary key for state ID. One more table with name city. Apply primary key for city ID and foreign key for state ID. One more table with name location. Apply primary key for location ID and foreign key for city ID. Okay na? There are multiple queries I have written. Okay. So now you have to insert the record in the tables. Is it clear? Just first insert the record in state table. So go to Object Explorer, right click on the databases. Here you can right click on the databases. It's a simple project we are doing. Refresh. There you can see Cascade demo, I think. Cascade demo. And here you can open the tables. And here open the state, right click, edit top 200 rows. Edit top 200 rows. There you can see. Now here the tables you can see here, all of you. So now here directly insert the value, give ST1. Here I'll give Telangana. ST2, I'll give Andhra Pradesh. ST3, I'll try to give Tamil Nadu. ST4, I'll try to give UP. Okay, na? Execute. This is your state table. Similarly, create one more table with the name city. Already we have city now. Right click on city, edit top 200 rows. City ID, I'll try to give CT1. City name, I'll try to give Hyderabad. ST1. Hyderabad belongs to ST1. CT2. And here I'll try to give something like Warangal. Belongs to ST1, Telangana. CT3. Here I'll try to give Vizag. Vizag belongs to ST2. CT4. I'll try to give Vijayawada, Amaravati. Amaravati, something like ST2. CT5. Like you can give something like Chennai. Chennai, ST3. CT6. Here I'll try to give Madurai. ST3, something like this. This is your state table. This is your city table. Okay, now execute. Okay. Similarly, write down location. Here edit top 200 rows. Edit top 200 rows. Location. And here you can write the location. Lock 1. Location name I'll give Amirpet. City Hyderabad. CT1. Location 2. Here I'll give SR Nagar. CT1. Location 3 I'll give KPHP. CT1. Location 4 I'll try to give some any other location you can give. Something like some Gajuwaka. Here you can give CT Vizag. Vizag city means what? CT3. CT3. Okay, and here I'll try to give lock 5. And here I'll write some NAD CT3. And here I'll give lock 6. Here I'll try to give some beach road. RK Beach. CT4. Something like that. Location. Okay, na? This is your state. City, state, city, and location. And if you want, you can get one more table here with name employee. With name employee, here you can create one more table. Create table EMP. Column names I'll give E number. Data type I'll give int. I'll try to give primary key. Primary key. And here I'll try to give E name. Data type I'll give varchar of 50. Okay, and here I'll try to give salary. Data type I'll give money. And here I'll try to give lock ID. Lock ID, data type I'll give varchar. Varchar of 50. And here I'll try to apply foreign key. Varchar of 50. Here I'll try to apply foreign key. Foreign key reference. Okay, na? Here 1 minute. Foreign key references. Foreign key references. Primary key table name. Location of primary key column name. Lock ID. Okay, na? Something like this. This is my table I want to create actually with name location. Command completed successfully. So go and check in your Object Explorer. There you can see, right click on the tables, refresh. There you can see employee table is there, edit top 200 rows. Right click on employee, edit top 200 rows. Insert the value in the employee table. Small project we are developing actually. Here I'll try to give 101 Anil, salary 20,000, lock ID lock 1. Here I'll try to give 102 Sunil, salary 3,000. Here I'll try to give lock 1. Here I'll give 103 Vijay, salary 21,000. Here I'll try to give lock 2. And here I'll give 104 James, salary 32,000, lock 2. Something like this. Now actually we created 4 tables. Just will execute these queries. Select start from state. You see all the queries I'm executing. This the data belongs to my table. Are you following everyone? So here you see, here I have one table with name state, having 2 columns, city, location, employee. So let us see what is our requirement now. My requirement is very simple. Here in the database I have 4 tables are there. Let us see what is my requirement. Now here my requirement is, here I will try to select state. And here I will try to write select city. Select state. Here I will try to give select city. And here I will write select location. Okay now. And here I will try to take one button, something like search. Search. So what is my requirement? Let us see here. Select state, select city, select location, and one search button. Select state. Here we have one drop down list control. Here I'll try to take one drop down list control. And here select city. Here I'll try to take one more drop down list control. One more drop down list control I'll try to take. Select city. Okay now. And here select location. Here I'll try to take one more drop down list control. Select location. Okay now, one more drop down list control. Let us see what is my requirement. Select location, one more drop down list control. So actually this is my requirement actually. In database we have different tables are there. One is state table is there, having state ID and state name. And here we have city table is there, city ID, city name and state ID. And we have location table is there, location ID, location name and city ID. And here we have employee table is there, employee number, employee name, salary and lock ID. Are you following everyone? So these are my tables that are available in my database. Now what to do? My first requirement is bind all the initially by default when I try to execute the program, display all the state names in drop down list control. Display all the state names in drop down list control. Okay na? Like AP, Telangana, all the state names you have to display. Write the code in page load. Now whenever user selects the state name, display the city names belongs to that particular state in drop down list 2. Okay na? And whenever user selects the city name, for example if I select Hyderabad, display all the location names belongs to Hyderabad in drop down list 3. And whenever user clicks on search button, display the employees who are working in Hyderabad, employee number, employee name and salary. This is our requirement. We have to do this one. So we'll try to design this form. Open your Visual Studio Editor, go to new project. So here you can select web, ASP.NET web application. And here if you want, you can give some name, Cascade demo, you can give. Click on OK. So as a developer, you must know where to write the code. In which method you have to write the code, that you must have the clarity. Web forms. Click on OK. Okay now. So here I'll try to give some name, some demo.aspx. And to make the things faster, I will design the form and then I will show you. So here go to your toolbox and here you can drag and drop the controls. First of all, you can drag and drop label control. Sorry, drop down list control. Here you can see. I can drop down list 1. And here you can take one more drop down list 2. And here you take one more drop down list 3. And here you take one button control. and here you can take one grid view control. Grid view control is available under data. Just drag and drop grid view control from toolbox. If you want to display the data in the form of table, you have grid view control. So this is my design actual. Okay, select all the controls. If you want to give in big font, just give bold, and here you can give X large. Okay, and this is your grid view. Right, if you want to change the color of style of the grid view, select the ellipse button, auto format, and here you can give colorful. Click on OK. And here if you want to increase the size, bold, X large you can give. Okay, now first of all I want to display all the statement drop down list 1. So what to do? Write the code in page load. So right click, view code. There you can see. First of all we need to declare the connection string globally in web.config file. So go to Solution Explorer. There you can go to web.config file. Web.config file, and here what to do? I'll try to declare the connection string globally. So here open connection strings, and here you can write add name is equal to str, and here I'll try to write connection string is equal to user ID is equal to SA, password is equal to ABC, database is equal to cascade demo, data space source is equal to dot. Declare the connection string globally in web.config file. And here declare the namespace using system.data.sql client, and here using system.configuration. Okay, first of all I want to get all the state names. So here I'll try to write the code. SQL connection con is equal to new SQL connection of, here I'll try to give configuration manager dot connection strings of constr dot toString. Create the connection. Okay, now next open the connection, con dot open off, and then pass the query. SQL command cmd is equal to new SQL command of query comma con. Here I'll try to write the query. String query is equal to, I'll try to write the query. What is the query? I'll write select state name from state. Is it clear? Select state name from state. Is it clear? Where? That's it. Select state name from state, and here I'll try to pass the comma con, and then the query cmd dot execute reader, and the return type is SQL data reader. SQL data reader dr is equal to cm dot execute reader, and here I'll write if dr dot has rows, and here I'll write the while loop while dr dot read. I'll try to read the data and display in the drop down list. Drop down list 1 dot items dot add of dr of 0 dot toString. I want to display all the state names in drop down list. Yes or no? Come outside and close the connection. This code I have written inside the page load. Why? Because as F5 only I want to display the data in the drop down list. Okay, by default when I execute the program only I want to display the data. That type of code you write inside the page. Here if you try to check, here I will get all the state names. Okay, now Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, etc. But here one problem is there. Whenever user clicks on button, again request will go to the server. So every time when the request is going to the server, again the page load code will get executed. So every time when the page load will execute, every time it will display the state names. But I want to display the state names only for one time. So what to do? Here you have to use is postback property. Is postback request is first request. In the last video I discussed. If the request is first request only, I want to execute the code. If the request is postback request, and whenever user interacting with any controls or anything, then that request is called as postback request. If the request is postback request, okay, now then I don't want to execute the code. I want to execute the code only when the request is first request. Are you following everyone? So I will use that type of code. I will write inside the is postback property. Is it clear? Now by default I want to display select state. So what to do? Here I will try to write something like this. Drop down list 1 dot items dot insert. In drop down list each and every item can be identified by using index number. Always the index number start from 0. So at the index of 0 I want to display one text called select state, something like this. Okay, na? So let us see here, press F5. So by default, I don't want to display the state names. The first text I want to display in the drop down list is select state. Here, right, select state. Now user will select Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, something like this. Now whenever user select the state, then automatically I want to get the cities belongs to that particular state. So what to do means double click on drop down list 1 and write the code, because when user clicks on select the item in the drop down list only, I want to perform some operation. So double click on drop down list 1 and write the code. So here I will try to write SQL connection con is equal to new SQL connection of, here I'll try to give something like configuration manager dot connection strings of constr dot toString. Is it clear? And then I will try to open the connection con dot open of, pass the query. SQL command cmd is equal to new SQL command of query comma con. Here I will try to write the query. String query is equal to, here I will try to write the query. What is the query? I will write select C. I will try to write the query. So here I have two tables are there, state table and city table. Select state ID from state. Select state ID from state where state name is equal to, single quote, double quote, plus drop down list 1 dot selected item dot toString. You must have some SQL skills here. I'll try to use subqueries here. Query inside another query. Now select city name from city where state ID in. Where state ID in, here I will try to write the inner query. Did you understand? So query inside another query is called a subquery. Did you understand? So first the inner query will get executed. Inner query, what it is doing, it is bringing the state ID of selected state. And outer query, select the city name from city where state ID in, because in city table we have what? State ID now. In city table we have state ID. Did you understand? So select the city name from city where state ID in ST1 means Hyderabad and Warangal will come. This is your subquery. Query inside another query is called as subquery. This is your subquery. Now I will try to pass the query comma con and then execute the query. cmd dot execute reader. Return type is SQL data reader. SQL data reader dr. Is it clear? And here I'll try to check if the result set has rows. If dr dot has rows, and here I'll try to write while dr dot read. And I want to display the data in drop down list 2. Drop down list 2 dot items dot add of dr of 0 dot toString. Okay na? And finally after this I'll try to close the connection con dot close off. And default text I want to display as select city. So here within the drop down list in the first line I'll write select city. But there is one problem is there here. Whenever you want to write any code in double click on drop down list and write the code. Now whenever user selects any item in the drop down list, then request will go to the server. If request must go to the server means there is one property called auto postback. Drop down list will have a property called auto postback. By default auto postback is what? False. If auto postback is false, request will not go to the server. If request is not going to the server, the code that was written inside the drop down list will not execute. So whenever you want to work with drop down list, you have to set auto postback is equal to true. So when this method will get executed, whenever user select any item in the drop down list. Here you see here I written the code now. This method will get executed whenever user selects any item in the drop down list, then this code must execute. But now it will not execute because auto postback property is set to false. When auto postback is true only, request will go to the server. If auto postback is false, request will not go to the server. See, select state Telangana. It is not working. Okay, na? Because it is not working means request is not going to the server. But auto postback you have not kept. So go to your design window and you have to select the drop down list 1, right click, go to properties, and here you set the property auto postback is equal to true. What is the use of this? Is a very dangerous property actually. Because of that only, every time the page will refresh. But anyway, when you work with ASP.NET, when you set auto postback property is equal to true, then automatically the request will go to the server when user clicks on the button. Do you understand, everyone? Here, let us see now. See now, when I select the state Telangana, now the page is loading. Request is going to the server. Now this drop-down list code will get executed. Now you press F1, F11. F1, F11, it will work. Debugging. But if you want to directly see the output, press F1, F5. So directly you will get the output. All the city names you will get here. Hyderabad, Warangal. Okay, similarly, if I try to select any of the other, select city, I think city also came here only. 1 minute. I want to display the city in drop down list 2. So here you write drop down list 2 dot selected item dot to string. No. Drop down list 2 dot items dot insert of. Now let us see, whenever user selects the state Telangana, I can select Hyderabad. Similarly, I can select Warangal, something like that. Similarly, whenever user selects city, I want to get the locations. So what I will do, right click on city, go to properties, auto postback is equal to true. And here also you can double click on drop down list 2 and write the code. Same code you can copy paste, just change. Here you can copy paste the same code. Here you can paste it. Here you can write drop down list 3 dot items dot insert of select location. Select location. Here change the query. Select what? Lock name. Select location name from location. From location where? City ID. Where city ID in? Select city ID from city. Select city ID from city. Just modify this query. Where city name. Where city name is equal to drop down list 2 dot selected item dot to string. Something like this. Okay, now finally I want to add the location names in drop down list 3. Give auto postback true, otherwise it will not work. Drop down list selected in until now you worked with you have written the code in double click on button and write the code, but now we are working with drop down list. When user selects any item in the drop down list only, if you want to perform any operation, then double click on drop down list and write the code. That's what I have done here also. Here you can see, if I select Telangana, I can see the city names belongs to Telangana. If I select Hyderabad, I can see the locations belongs to Hyderabad. Now when I select Amirpet and click on the button, I want to display the employees details in grid view control. Employee details in the grid view control. So where to write the code? Double click on button and write the code. Is it clear? Here also what I will do, I will try to create the connection, open the connection. First I'll try to create the connection and then I'll try to open the connection. And then I'll try the same code. You can copy paste, just change the query. But no need of this has rows and all these things. I'll delete this one. Okay, now here I'll try to write the query. Select, I want to get the employee name, employee number, comma employee name, comma salary from EMP where lock ID in, select I want to get the lock ID. Select lock ID from location. Okay, select lock ID from location. Where lock name is equal to drop down list 3 dot selected item dot to string. Okay, I will try to pass the query. Okay. So here you see everyone. Here in the last point we discussed, we have written the query here. Select ename, comma enumber, comma salary from EMP where lock ID in. Select lock ID from location where lock name is equal to drop down list 3 dot selected item dot to string. Here we will try to pass the query, execute the query, and we are telling to grid view one dot data source is equal to dr. Indirectly we are telling to grid view your data is in dr. So bind the data. We'll discuss more about grid view connection oriented architecture. Okay. Now here you can say I have written some code. Did you understand? So I'll try to debug and show you the output once. And here I added one more point, drop down list 2.items.clear, because whenever you select the second item, the old items are not deleted. So here I added drop down list 1, I added drop down list 2.items.clear, drop down list 2 I added, drop down list 3.items.clear. Once check that one. Is it clear? You can pause and you can edit that. This line I have added extra. Okay, once you can check here. Because whenever you select, see here I'll select the state, Telangana. Now I'll get the city names. See, if I select Andhra Pradesh, what happen if you're not writing clear old values? If you're not clear, you can see Hyderabad, Warangal also, but I don't want to display. That is the reason I have used that clear function. So Telangana, here you select Hyderabad, select Amirpet. Click on button. Display the employees who are working in, staying in Amirpet. Similarly, SR Nagar. Okay, now like this, you can work with this cascading drop down list control. Okay, na? For more videos, try to subscribe to my channel, because your subscribe only will motivate me. Is it clear? Motivate to do some more videos. Try to subscribe, like, share, and click on the bell icon. Thank you. Have a nice day.